Richard O'Donoghue.
Thank you, Concorla. Minister, as the chairperson of the Budget and Oversight Committee, and delighted to be Independent Ireland's first chairperson, an invitation went out to you from the clerk to attend one of our meetings on next week on Tuesday. We facilitated you from 2 weeks previous that you couldn't make it. We changed people around and other people that had to come in front of us. And to get a note back from yourselves to say that your officials are not available on that date, I'm not accepting that. With all due respect to the officials, it's the Minister I want. If you're missing, that's fine. I want Minister Jack Chambers and yourself in our committee room. It's a very important committee as we are talking about budget and oversight. And I would hope that you will be in attendance with or without your officials. Now, to get back to at hand, the local property tax. And it is a fund for the local authorities. And I don't want to see the local authorities without the funding to carry out different infrastructure works within our areas. But if the local property tax had to go tomorrow morning, Minister, you still have the funds to replace that with what you've been taking on people building their own houses. You've removed now the planning waiver of the planning contribution fee and you've reintroduced it. So for a person building a 2,000 square foot house at the moment, they now have to pay you €5,500 to €6,000 to build their own house, on top of a local property tax. But if you look back 4 years ago, it was €120 a square foot, and at the government at the time, on just VAT only, we're making $34,500 out of a person building their own house. Today, the same house, same square footage, is now costing them €200 roughly a square foot, and the government are taking €54,000. In 4 years, they have increased their tax take on somebody building their own house by €21,600 based on a 2,000 square foot house. On top of that, they have now got to pay the planning permission fees of €5,000 or €6,000, and now a local property tax. So the government have increased $21,500 local property tax on top of planning permission fees. So now we're going up to almost $35,000. When you look at an increase when people are fighting inflation. So a house that was costing $240,000 is now costing the person $400,000. So they have an increase of what they have to pay for the same house of $160,000. And out of that, the government have taken an increase on their tax take. So how much can people manage? Their mortgages are now gone to 30 and 40 years to try and put a roof over their own heads. And we're talking about inflation. So the local property tax could be done away with. And it could be supplemented back to the councils on the extra tax you're actually taking at source. Because if you're living in a town or village that's been done without infrastructure for years, because your travel actually puts the money back into the cities and not in the counties, you don't have a level playing field. Send the money back out the country and look after the people with extra taxes that they're paying.
Thank you, Deputy Ken O'Flynn.